This week, in honor of Halloween, The Walking Dead, we talk costumes and Halloween stores, the movies that give us the Halloween feels. This is Modern Retro.
Damn it!
Unmute. Roy, do it again.
It's a muting!
Welcome back to Modern Retro, episode 9? 8? 9?
You don't even know what episode we're
No.
Not even a full handful. A full two handfuls.
No, Tom.
Okay, bye, Cuba.
Bye.
Well, if we're doing that... Is he running out to the car?
I don't know.
No, he's just jogging back. You goofy gremlin fuck. Thought you were running all the way back out to your car.
No, I am running.
Jesus.
I'll just scratch the notes into his arm if it was that was the case. Episode 9, according to my notes. 9. Okay.
Good job. You did it.
Yes. Welcome to... I don't know, is this the Halloween episode? Because this is released 2 days after Halloween. Welcome to the Halloween show.
You're a mean one,
That's
Mr. Grit.
No, you banish that shit for now. Just what was it, a month and a half ago? Going into Home Depot and they already have like the fake Christmas trees and the
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
snowmen and stuff like that.
I get it's the most profitable time for brick and mortar stores, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, slow your roll.
Yeah.
Oh, it's insane. Insane.
I know my fiance Courtney's waiting for Tuesday because all the candy's 50% off.
I'm waiting for a Tuesday because all the costumes and shit are 50% off the Halloween stores. I wanna see what I can get.
I'm with the candy.
So that's how I got the Wolverine claws. I got them for like $5.
Yeah, it's insane. I was looking for costume ideas for the party I went to last night, and then there's another party next weekend. And that's where I settled on Negan, which was a complete accident because I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to wear. I'm looking at costumes, $60 fucking for. I wanted to get that what are those called? Like the one skin costumes, where like the Batman one that like it's the Batman costume, but it's one giant piece of like spandex. Yeah. I was gonna get that, but I'm not paying $60 for a piece of spandex. No. So
Who are you? This kid over here? Paying $70 for a helmet?
The Spider-Man one was pretty cool.
Yeah, but again, $60. Not worth it. It'll be worth it maybe $20 on Tuesday when they cut the store in half. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't figure out what to do, so
I'm going and raiding the armory that they have there at Spirit Halloween this year.
Oh yeah. There's some. There was like a fucking crossbow. Did you see that thing?
Yeah.
That was impressive. Yeah, every year I'm more impressed with all the fake weaponry. That's a good idea. I didn't think about it. Let's go, dude. Yeah, we got to do that for King Richard's Fair, man.
You want to go there after we do this?
No, it's before Halloween.
I know, but we go look.
No, well, why?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
There's like hammers, there's axes, there's like swords up the asses.
Swords up the asses. Episode name.
Swords up the ass. They definitely went all out with the fucking weaponry this year. There's so many things. Even like a Negan bat with the friggin'
barbed wire on
it.
See, I didn't see that.
We're in the parking lot where me and him meet up to come here. And he's like, oh, yeah, I was Negan. Check out my bat, this and that. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, it's an easy costume to throw together. There's going to be a lot of Negans out this year. And
there's a Negan at my party.
But as soon as I said it, though, I was like, I shouldn't be saying that with the window open. Just sounds like it's like...
sounds like...
There's a lot of Negans around here.
Sounds like white guilt to me.
All these goddamn Negans.
I was the only Negan at my party.
There you go. The token Negan?
The token Negan. Oh man, but that costume. I mean, I had most of the stuff, and it was the will of the force, that costume, because we had a new fence put in the week before, and out of the way back they dug out all sorts of shit. I found like a toy car, tons of garbage and alcohol containers.
See, it's funny. We found a toy car because when we would dig in my backyard, we find bodies of like skulls of animals
and dad's a Viking.
and actual cars. We found actual car frames in my backyard.
Yeah, well, there is a full car buried back there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We don't know whose it was. I think it was probably like a homicide.
It's
of
the
some
one
type.
it's the one from Tremors.
Yeah.
But the bat that I used for Negan, they dug that out of the ground. So I'm sitting there looking.
It was probably an actual weapon to beat some poor Asian.
Right, it's a wiffle bat.
Oh, well,
It's
hey.
plastic, but I'm sitting there looking at it.
Reach
I'm
for
like,
the stars.
I was like, I'm like, that bat. Negan. I can do a Negan. I'm like, I got a leather jacket. I got to find a red scarf. But, so and I'm like, the barbed wire, though, is the key. So I went to the Halloween store. I didn't see the bat. You sent me the link for the bat. And I'm like walking around. This was like on Thursday. I'm walking around. I walk around the store fucking 20 times. Couldn't find that bat or any barbed wire. Right before I left, there was like one piece of like fake Halloween barbed wire, like hanging all lonesome by itself up high on the thing. I'm like, more! Give it! Pulled that shit together.
Nice. No, you look pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Mexican Negan.
I put my machete.
Yeah, I saw the SOG.
Yeah, not the machete itself, but just the
Had I known you were going to do that, I would have let you use one of the hatchets I actually have at my house, like an actual wood handle hatchet that looks like the one he used in the episode.
Yeah.
Rick's
I didn't want to go overboard. Again, I didn't bring the machete. I'm going to a party. I don't want to bring a weapon like that to a party where alcohol's involved.
See, I do. I would have. I was supposed to go to a party last night. I wasn't feeling up to it. I split a bunch of wood, and I was tired as fuck. So I was going to go in my King Richard's Fair costume with all my weapons and shit, just because that's what I do. I don't give a fuck.
So when the cops get called to the party because the party's getting disorderly, you're the one that gets all patted down.
Yeah. No, they're going to look at me with just a sword on my hip and shit, and they're like, okay, got to get the taser.
It's just a costume.
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro. Speaking of the Negans, why don't we go right into the Negans?
Right in.
Walking Dead premiere.
Right into the Negans. Okay, so I'm going to frame this by I have not seen the premiere. I'm still a season behind on The Walking Dead because I am in the minority and don't like the show.
Which is funny because the season you haven't watched yet, the
I
season
know,
you're
I know,
behind,
I know,
is
I know.
actually where it got better again.
Right, and I'll get around to watching it. But like you were saying on the way in, how you kind of gave up on Game of Thrones, the show. Yeah. I gave up on The Walking Dead show.
Well, I only
You gave up on Game of Thrones too?
I only gave up on Game of Thrones because I feel like it's too much in a way. I'm like, dude, I can't do this right now. I'm full. I don't need all this extra fucking meat in my meal. You know, it's too much.
All this extra fuckery.
Yeah, you know, and then they change things, and everyone's like, "This is so amazing," and I am that guy who says, "Well, maybe you should read the books because the books are way fucking
you make
better."
Fun of me, but that's me with the Walking Dead show. I'm like, everyone's like, I know not you two as much, but the all the normies who watch the show and they go, "Oh my god, I can't believe they did that." I'm like, it was in the fucking comics better.
But see, the only thing is, the reason I give Walking Dead more of a pass is because it's not. It's on AMC. It's not on HBO. If Walking Dead was on HBO, I would give it no fucking passes whatsoever. I would be way more critical on it. But you have to kind of give it a little bit more because they can't do everything they can do in the comic. Although in this past episode, to bring it around, they changed some things, but they did it pretty goddamn well.
They brought it up to speed, and this episode, is the first time since the premiere, the first season, where I felt like tension, where I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen, and it felt wonderful. I was like, that was amazing television. Oh my god, they did it.
The only thing I saw of the show, is the thing that everybody talks about. We'll get to that in conversation, but I'll let you guys, frame it and explain the episode for the peoples. Are you going to watch this weekly, Roy?
Yeah, I'll watch. I'm gonna watch it. I
walk
The Walking Dead.
Then you can be our walking recap.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't have cable, and I'm not actively seeking out the new episodes. Like I said, I'm a season behind. I don't know. Are you going to actively? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do our walking recap.
All right, we got it covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, the episode starts with everybody on their knees. They've kind of been herded by the I want to say whispers, but they're not the whispers. what do they call it? The saviors. And they're herded there and all that. And somebody has to die. We didn't know that. And the one that's shown in a series of like flashbacks, kind of halfway through the episode.
Right, yeah.
So it was kind of annoying because it felt like they drew that out too much. But once you get to the end of the episode, you can totally see why they did. So the episode starts off with Rick kind of covered in blood. So you're like, all right,
Rick!
Somebody already died. Rick is still defiant, telling Negan, I'm going to kill you. Look, you just fucked up. What you just did, I'm going to get you back for it. And Negan's like, oh, no, you're not. Drags him off into the RV. They go for a ride. And he basically he cuts the balls off of Rick, metaphorically. he fucks him up. He gives Rick a chance to kill him, and then he just shoots him right fucking down. He just turns around and he's like, yeah, guess what? No matter what the fuck you do, I'm going to get you. All right? Then he takes...
This is Negan saying
that, yeah. Sorry. And then he says, Negan says, it's a hard pill to swallow, but you're not in charge anymore. And to prove that, takes Rick's hatchet off the table that he slammed into, throws it outside into like a sea of walkers. And he says, go get my hatchet. Everything you own is mine. Go get it. And Rick has to go get it or he's going to fucking kill everybody. So Rick has to basically go through the trials and tribulations of running around and getting this. And he throws it, I think he throws it on the roof, right?
Mm-hmm.
He throws it on the roof of the RV is what he does. So without getting bogged up into details, Rick eventually does recover. And that's when they show the flashbacks of who gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Abraham. Abraham is kind of like defined. He gets chosen. He's all
Suck
like,
my nuts.
Yeah, he gets fucking slammed in the head. And then he has that awesome line who looks like, suck my nuts. Which for some reason I really want to hear. I feel like Cartman from South Park. Suck my nuts.
Suck my nuts, Negan. You guys.
Yeah, you know that's going to end up happening. And then, I can't, again, without getting bogged down in too much detail, he flaunts it, the fact that, like, Abraham's brains are all over this barbed wire bat. And he's, like, flaunting it. And I think it's Lucille. Sorry, I'll use the name.
Yeah, he's like holding the bat in front of
Rosita,
and he's like, look at that. Like,
yeah, he's like, oh shit, were you two together? Oh, look at that. Yeah, and he makes her look
But
at
he
it.
was with Sasha, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Abraham?
He was with both of them at one point or another.
Yeah.
So,
is that Fu Manchu?
So Daryl jumps up, is pissed off, and punches Negan in the face. And that's when...
Oh, that's why...
Yeah, and
so many people are going, it's like, Daryl fucked up, that's Daryl's fault. I was like, I wonder what Daryl did.
So everybody, jumps on Daryl. And Negan's like, oh, I told you motherfuckers that if this happened, no exceptions, I will shut that shit down.
Yeah, and like in your mind, you're like... Because he lets it go for like a couple minutes where you're just like, you just said if anyone like defied you, you'd shut that shit down.
And the way
what are you going to do? He didn't do anything.
And the way they frame it is perfectly, because he says, I told you I would shut that shit down, no exceptions. So, let's get back to it. And the way he's standing, it's like a comic book frame. He's standing...
Yeah, this is what I saw. I saw this clip.
Back to Glenn. His back to Glenn. And he just turns around and it happens so fast and just wham! And of course, is that iconic scene where... I can't remember what he says in the comic. I think he just goes...
Yeah, in the comic, that's what he does.
But he's more like afraid in the comic, which was cool in the show because he got hit, and then he went down, and then he came back up, and he screamed Maggie, but then he said he was like...
Maggie, I'll find you.
Yeah, he was like, Maggie, I'll find you.
That's my complaint about that scene is... Why didn't they just stick with the Maggie? Because your brain that's like being in a car accident. Your brain just hit a wall.
But honestly,
you're not gonna form a conscious.
He barely did
that.
though.
I know, but when I say Maggie, he sounded like a stroke victim. He really did. He was like,
Again,
it was awful.
If your mind still works after that, you're maybe forming one word. You're not forming a cohesive.
It was all big one word.
But honestly, it worked. I have zero complaints about the way they did it.
I don't know.
It looked great.
I saw that part, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't like the Maggie, I'll find you.
But it works within the narrative. Maybe honestly, dude, we're talking about people getting shot and stabbed and living, and we're talking about zombies walking around eating people. Somebody taking But you didn't have a problem with suck my nuts.
He didn't hit Abraham as hard as he hit fucking
Well,
Glenn.
not only that, he does have a fucking head like a cinder block.
Yeah.
And Glenn is a little Asian guy. But it goes to just to show you what he was thinking of. He didn't die just screaming. You know, I don't know. There was something really cool about it.
If someone hit you that hard with a bat, what do you think your final word would be? Yabba dabba.
I wouldn't say suck my nuts.
What about you? What do you think your final word would be? Taco Bell. I'll find you.
Supreme.
Star Wars.
Is that what yours would be?
No, people are like, ow.
Just Peter Griffin just
Oh man. Now you know that. Now you escaped Seth MacFarlane an idea because you know that's gonna happen on Family Guy.
That show's still going on?
I think so, right? I haven't seen it in like 5-6 seasons or something like that.
So to continue on with the episode, you see Abraham die, and then you see Glenn die, and then all that's still going on with the they're on their way back after he kind of demands Rick.
So he kills those two, and then he drags Rick off to do this. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a kind of Tarantino, so trying to explain it is a little weird. So then they drive back with Negan taunting him the whole way, basically. Like they hit a fucking walker and the head explodes on the windshield wiper, and he turns the windshield wipers on, spraying the blood, the brains everyone. He goes, "Hey Rick, remind you of anybody that you know?" And they get back, and Rick is still sort of defiant in his eyes. Negan didn't like the look he was giving him. He didn't say anything. He was doing what he was told, but it wasn't enough for Negan. Negan needed to see the submission in his eyes, not just the words. So he said, you know what? He's like, that look, I don't like that. He said, bring the boy over. So he brought the boy over. And the whole time, by the way, they're alluding to, like, he uses the words right-hand man. He grabs Rick's hatchet. He's talking about, so you think when he drags him off, oh shit, he's going to take his fucking hand off. Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, that whole time I was like, are we going to get all caught up to the comics? Like, what's
I know.
Yeah, but they're not going to, because Kirkman says that he wished he didn't cut off Rick's hand in the comic, so he's not going to do it in the show.
Yeah, he also said that the CGI would be too expensive. But honestly,
please, dude, before CGI, they would have people just kind of tuck their fucking hand in like that and just paint a stump.
Yeah, it'd be all angles and shit.
Yeah.
But we live in a world where when people say stuff like that, it's usually to throw us off. So they allude it the whole time, like, oh shit, the hand's coming off. So back to when he says he doesn't like the look. Everybody's lined up. It's morning by this time. He says, bring the boy over. Hey, who's got a marker? They get a marker. He draws a line on Carl's on his wrist. Mm-hmm. And he says, Rick, I'm going to need you to cut your boy's hand off. Right there at the wrist, right on the line. Not above, not below, right on the line. And he's making him do it. And he says, if you don't, I'm going to blow everybody's head off. And they've got guns pointing right towards the back of everybody's head. That's all in a line. And this is Rick, that's Rick's biggest weakness. We all know that. Like, whenever Carl, I can't. Whenever he's threatened, that's when Rick snaps. He gets that weird look in his eyes. And he's saying, like, please don't make me do this. I'll cut my own arm off. Just don't make me do this. I understand. And even Michonne says, please, we get it. He says, no, I don't think Rick does.
You gotta make me count?
Yeah, so
he's the tension that you were talking about.
Yes.
So he starts counting, and he's basically telling him, you have to do this. And even Carl is like, it closes up, and he's like, Dad, just do it. And it's on, his hand's on a rock. He's like, Dad, just do it. Just stop. Just fucking do it. And he brings up the hatchet, and then Negan's like, stop. That's the look I wanted to see. He's like, now you understand. Because that look, and like, he's broken. There's no other way to put it. It's not like in the, where in the comp, spoilers and all that, warning. But in the comic, you know how Rick submits, but then not too far after he like revolts again? Mm-hmm. And you kind of get the feeling like that was his plan. I don't get that feeling here.
The dictatorship is over.
It's like, obviously they'll have to bring it back because that's the narrative. But in this moment, he is completely fucking broken. And that is so crazy to see. It's perfect to see. It's what they needed. And you got to see the look on his face.
Yeah, the acting in this scene was so good.
I saw like the preview for this week, or like they ask Rick something, and he goes, "Negan's in charge now."
Yeah, he's like I'm not sure, but it's not that. It's the look of was it Andrew Lincoln?
Yeah, he's a good
Andrew
actor.
Lincoln's eyes. If you get a close up of that, like as right after he says stop, and he's like bewildered, and he's like, "But no," like he just has this perfect look, and his acting is phenomenal.
So Negan turned him into Reek.
That was actually somebody said that. I think they had this big the Talking Dead after that. The only thing that pissed me off about this episode, I will say, jumping ahead up to what we didn't like, it was a 1 hour premiere, but the Talking Dead
With 40 minutes of commercials?
No. They did okay. They did well with the hour, way more than I thought they would. But the Walking Dead show was an hour and a half. The Talking Dead, where they discuss the show afterwards, it's like its own talk show.
Yeah.
It was an hour and a half. So you had The Walking Dead, which was an hour. The Talking Dead, which is an hour and a half. I'm like, why can you...
When that started, wasn't it like 15 minutes or something like that?
It was like a half
20
an hour
minutes?
show.
Yeah.
Is it always an hour and a half, or is it just...
I thought it was just a half an hour, and then it went to an hour. But
There's just not enough to... I don't know. They brought all the characters out, and the thing that makes me mad is... I don't know if it's just because I'm attached to characters, but I'm not a pussy. So when people... so, like, they bring him... Did you watch...
No, I didn't watch Talking Dead.
So they bring it up, like, after the last, like, commercial break. It's him... What's his name? Chris Hardwick. And he's like, "Hi, I'm here in this place at this time. We're gonna have characters out. We're gonna work through all three of us together.
Well, like it's a
big
funeral?
Yeah. Well, they did it in a cemetery. They're like, it's a big loss, and we're here to help you through this. We'll see you guys in about 15 minutes on The Talking Dead. Enjoy the rest of the episode." And then they kick into like a Tide commercial or something. But it's like, come on, man. Like, it's not. I hate it when people get that.
Get the bloodstains out of your shirt.
Exactly.
Tide gets the brain chunks out.
Cool.
But and the other thing that I didn't like about this episode is I feel like Glenn should have already been dead because of that episode. I think.
They fake killed Glenn a dozen times over the last like 3 seasons.
No.
It was yeah.
When?
There was the last
Like,
season
every
where like,
season
the
there's-
zombies were...
Yeah, that one I felt like he should have died at.
I feel like every season
I knew he wasn't
there's
gonna
like
die that one.
Glenn might die. Like almost like teasing up to his like actual eventual death. Yeah. It just got annoying.
See, I don't feel like they teased his death. I mean, they put him in harrowing like positions, but that's just they did the same thing for any other character. So I don't feel like they teased his death up until they did that when he's surrounded by him and he pulls that asshole who blew his own brains out, his body on top. I feel like he should have died in that alley. It would have been the perfect depressing ending. Like killed by somebody by accident that he tried to help and couldn't redeem and blah 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 blah. But it was a very good episode.
What do you think? Likes, don't likes?
I mean, I liked it. The only thing that I didn't like about that episode was that they waited so long to kind of reveal. And I get the whole point of doing it that way, but they really teased the fuck out of you until the middle of the episode to show you who got hit. And that link that you had sent prior, like right after the premiere, where they talk about like, was this worth it? Was all this like lead up worth it? Because it was months of like, oh, The Walking Dead's coming back and blah blah blah. Like, can't wait to do it. The season finale should have definitely ended with Abraham getting smacked, and you're like, oh shit! Like, I mean, I'm kind of pissed they didn't kill Glenn, but then season premiere they kill Glenn, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I think that seems universally to be the thing that's the way they should have went. Obviously, we all know why they didn't do it that way, because then you don't have 6-7 months of people going, who's gonna die? Who's the one that died? There's all sorts of theories and stuff like that.
The thing that does make me mad about that too is you can't do that in normal television. Like, I feel like if you watch the marathon leading up to it, it made perfect sense because you watch it like you binge watch it. But
right, that's what most people do.
But that
now.
6 or 7 months wait, I started to not care as much. It was just like, okay, well, I'm just not thinking about it anymore. Like the first month, I hated the way they ended the season finale, the last season finale. Couldn't stand it. It looked. Have you seen it?
The blood ran down, and
It
you were like, it looked like a Goosebumps fucking episode.
It did. It looked like it did. It looked fucking cheesy as hell. But I mean, I think they could have done something more where it was. Do you remember playing Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater when Snake gets his eyes shot out? So when you look in first person view, like half the screen is kind of missing. It would have been cool if, like, as his head got caved in, his like the screen just went like. Yeah, kind of. Like, maybe, like, the vision, it was like a fisheye lens all of a sudden. So you're like, oh, shit, that's when someone's eye popped out.
But it was the first person, that was supposed to be Abraham. Right?
Yeah, I know. Okay. But still, I mean, you get smacked in the head with a bat, your eyes aren't going to just, goop vision.
Did you see that thing where it was like, you may have missed it, but Abraham, like, right before he dies.
Oh, he did, like, the peace sign. Yeah.
Also, I didn't see that.
There's also another thing that I heard. I'm not sure if it's actual fact, but Negan's like one of my favorite villains, and the reason for that is his artistry when it comes to foul mouth isms, like
fucking fuck, fuckity fuck, fucking bitch, fuck,
and
fuck.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got Tourette's.
While I love the actor that they chose for Negan, it's TV. You can't do that. So
that's where it being on HBO really would have come in.
So his writers this season need to be on fucking point.
And that's what sucks, because they don't have good writers.
I know.
But they did so good this season, making him menacing with this episode. I felt like he didn't have to swear. He was badass enough to the point where if he started dropping just fucks all over the place, it would have been like, all right, man, well, you're overusing the word. It loses its effectiveness.
From what I heard, like I was talking to someone at the Halloween party last night, is if you buy the DVDs, they're actually going to supplement the swear, like they've recorded swear scenes with his actual dialogue, and you'll get that if you buy the DVD. Kind of like how Family Guy, when you buy Family Guy DVDs, they swear all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So
people still buy DVDs though. Come on.
But I mean, if that's the case, like if I buy the DVDs and it actually has those scenes with Negan's actual dialogue swearing up the storm, I would absolutely buy the Walking Dead DVDs.
See, I'm conflicted with that. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but why would I watch the show as it airs then?
Well, yeah.
You know, it's like I'll just.
Well,
that's what I do with a lot of shows.
Because the lack of swearing from the character doesn't hamper the character.
No, I'm just saying, if I want the full swearing effect, why would I wait 1 week at a time? It's old TV. You know what I mean?
That's a perfect way to put it. That's my complaint about the season finale into the season premiere. That it's set up like old TV.
Yeah.
And where they don't think right. They haven't caught up. They probably eventually will come, in the next years or so, hopefully. But that long span is just. It's old TV. Yeah. I gotta give it to you. That was
there's not much.
Goddamn show.
Like that's not streaming that I watch really anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I care about it. Turned that's a good show. I think that's on USA. But it's like I like it.
I gotta watch this.
But I'm not
season.
like super invested in it. So it comes out, I binge it and I move on. Good entertaining, mindless stuff. But then there's like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, those are shows that people are really heavily invested in, and I would say Game of Thrones is not set up. I mean, granted, it's on HBO, but it's not set up old TV style. The Walking Dead is the only thing I can really think of that people really care about, where it's not set up for the binge watch. Like it should be set up for binge watching. It's because
Kirkman got a lot of money from AMC. He's got an exclusive deal. I mean, I know why it's there.
Yeah. Also, Netflix wasn't king.
But can you imagine? Can you imagine if instead of having a 16 episode broken up by 8 and 8, which to me is the dumbest fucking thing to do. I can't stand that mid-season break, and then they give an excuse of, well, every 8 episodes we try to reinvent and change the tone of the show.
Yeah, it's like, you're just making. It's like we're on season 6, 7.
I don't know.
Right
to me, it feels like
little seasons.
I feel like we're on season fucking 12,
right?
Because But can you imagine if if Netflix approached Kirkman and said, "Look, your contract is up next year with AMC. We want to buy the rights from you to do The Walking Dead. All the same actors. You can still have your influence and this and that, but 10 strong episodes. all at once, just like the same way we do Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Can you imagine that shit?
That would be fantastic.
It would be.
A strong 10 episodes with no fat.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be perfect.
No fucking waiting 7 months to who done it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the shows that I watch.
You brought up the Mr. Burns, not to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but you said, I haven't seen this many people talking since the Who Killed Mr. Burns thing.
Yeah, it's true. Who Shot Mr. Burns was the last time that
And
I
it
can
was-
think of, like,
and it was
people
Maggie.
talking so much between. Yeah, it was
Wasn't it
Maggie.
Maggie?
And people were so pissed.
He,
And
like-
everybody was like, and they, at the time, that was brilliant. The Who Shot Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
You know, I think McDonald's was like in on like. You could buy like a Happy Meal and it have like a Simpsons Clue or something like that. That was at the time amazing mass marketing for this season cliffhanger for a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
And
But in a day of streaming,
but and then when
binge
Maggie,
watching,
when it turned out to be Maggie shooting him by accident, I remember people
because it was like a
going
lollipop,
rip shit. Yeah. He reached in to steal the candy from the baby, literally, and, the gun fell out.
and a huge revolver just happened to fall out of his coat pocket.
Yeah, and she didn't even pull the trigger; it just fell into her lap and went off. And everybody's like, "Fucking cop out!" That was. I don't want to watch that.
So like a lot of the shows that I watch now, at least the ones that I really like Rick and Morty, I don't watch it week to week. I just buy the DVD when it comes out immediately because I know I'm gonna like it. Like I want to invest the money and have them know that I'm investing towards this show monetarily, and because I know all the shit's awesome.
Yeah. This. I don't know.
I haven't bought a DVD. God damn, years.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since Netflix came out, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I
have
don't
to-
buy much in the way of DVDs, and if I really want to own something, you can usually just buy it digitally on Amazon.
Yeah.
Then it saves space.
Mm-hmm.
Games too.
See, games I buy because I need to have the
I
hard copy.
buy too, but I rather just download it from the PlayStation Store than going to GameStop and buying it.
Yeah,
Not-
see, I
not
don't do hard media anymore because now if I go on my Xbox, I can switch between games. I don't need to just find the disc.
Yes,
pop out
it's
the
so,
disc.
it's so convenient.
Yeah, but see, I got a fear of the cloud, and that to me, is
I don't think it's on the cloud; it's on the hard drive.
I know, but to me, what happens if your hard drive toasts?
Then it's you're on your account, and you say, "I got a new PlayStation."
Yeah, basically,
But see, I'm like, I have a fear. I'm like, no.
they've got it down pretty good,
Yeah,
Roy.
yeah.
No.
Especially
Right.
if you buy anything with your account, it's automatic. Like it's a receipt in your account. They can look it up at
Yeah.
any point in time. You can go in there, look it up at any point in time. So if you're
I
fucking
understand.
Same thing with apps.
See,
Yeah.
I understand it, and it's one of those things where I don't actually judge other people for. One of the rare things I don't judge other people for. But, I don't use a cloud-based service for memory, like laptops or phones or anything like that. You guys use Apple Cloud. Or
Yeah, like as soon as you
iCloud.
log into your Apple phone, all your apps just start downloading automatically. I'm like, oh, that makes life easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but see, I got something weird about that. I don't like the government and shit. I'm like, come on, fuck that. I'm like, they can get into it, right? And they're like,
totally.
so, but I don't need them
Roy
seeing my dick
prints out
pics.
all
Black
the
helicopters.
pictures, puts them in a shoebox under his bed.
I bury it with the skulls in the car frame in the backyard.
That's his safety deposit box.
So, but games are the only thing I'll still buy. I need to have that physical copy.
I'm gonna buy the
Then again, I only buy games every twice a fucking year. So
I'm gonna buy that Battlefront that you sent me, but I'm gonna wait till because it's gonna be $40 for everything. That's my magic price. I can get. I think it says Amazon Prime. You can get it for $31 or something like that.
Okay.
When it becomes available. Either way, $40. That's the magic number. I'll buy it. But before I buy it on Amazon, I'm gonna see if it's available at that price on the PlayStation Store. Then I don't need to buy a hard copy. So I don't want to buy a hard copy.
Yeah, definitely.
I meant to ask you this. I don't know if it's the right time, but
It's always the right time, Roy.
oh baby, you've played Aaron. You've played. Ooh, goddamn. Nah, I'm
Well, you
not-
got your pinky up.
I was gonna
so
say I'm not
it's-
good. Well, I'm using it to point. You did that with your index. Can't
Yeah.
do that with your pinky. You've played both Battlefront and Battlefield 1.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your opinions? What would you go if you had to choose?
It's gonna go Battlefield. That's his baby. It's his go-to.
If you had to choose between,
They can shoot down walls.
no, because I'm a fan of Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and that was more modern technology. Battlefield Hardline was a more cop and robber kind of thing.
I heard Hardline was awful.
Well, it wasn't awful. It was just, I don't know, it wasn't quite Battlefield. It was it should have been its own kind
So it
of
was
thing.
like Battlefield 3.0 5.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm not a big fan of old style war. Like I hate World War II games. I never got the Call of Duty World at Wars or anything like that.
Those are so fun.
I know. Those are my favorite. I remember playing the original Medal of Honor and the original Call
yeah.
of Duty
Yep.
on PlayStation 1.
Which one started you off on Normandy Beach?
That was Call of Duty.
It's like one of the first
So that was
ones.
World at War.
No. That was
No,
it was
once-
called, it was for PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And it was for, at the time it was basically it was Saving Private Ryan's intro scene
Yeah.
basically.
And then
It was
the,
fucking
like
great.
the next one, or maybe the same
was-
game.
that was
you
in
start
the
off
Pacific.
at Pearl Harbor.
It was at the
So, like,
Pacific, yeah.
Yeah, you're like in the Arizona and below decks or something, and you have to like get up to the top deck.
Before it sank, and you had to get to go use the guns.
Yeah, that was fucking intense.
it was great.
But as far as price right now,
Well, I'm saying actual game wise, take money out of it.
Thinking.
are you going for more of a first person or a multiplayer?
Multiplayer.
Thinking.
I mean, considering Battlefront doesn't
gonna say-
have a one player.
I'm gonna say Battlefront.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, because I mean, while Battlefield has like a lot of shit, the field itself is expansive and everything like that, and they definitely learned from Battlefront and made them very pretty.
Mhm.
You're definitely going to have more fun with Battlefront because it's like I'm in the Star Wars. They do such a good job at putting you in the Star Wars universe, especially now that all the downloadable content's out. You're just like in amazement of like, this is fucking gorgeous.
See, that's
and
my
I'm
only
here.
problem with Battlefront is that it feels like a really pretty empty shell. There's like no depth to it.
Once you actually get into the gameplay and like kind of understand the mechanics of it more so than comparing it to other stuff that already exists that is doing it better or has done it better.
Yeah, but that's a whole reason to compare games. Is to compare them to ones that did it better and ones that did it worse.
Well, yeah, but once you figure out this game's particular mechanics or like shortfalls and pros, then you start actually having fun with it. So then you go and explore like the different maps, and you can like I played on Cloud City and got to see the fucking carbonite chamber, and you can run around the carbonite chamber fighting people, and you see like the window that Luke gets thrown out of, and it's like, this is fucking gorgeous! Like, oh my god!
But see, it always comes back to how pretty the game is and not the actual gameplay.
I mean, if
this wasn't-
the thing
if-
that Battlefield 1 has going for it is you need a team with Battlefield. You need to have that team that you roll with and like, okay, we're going to like point A and we got to cover that and capture that flag. Battlefront, you don't really need that. You can run and gun whatever you want. I haven't really played that yet with a team.
So that's more like a Call of Duty type thing. Or
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah, it's more Call of Duty. Battlefront's more Call of Duty. Battlefield, you need that team, but for Battlefield 1, they upped the destruction. So last Battlefield 4 had Levolution, where as the game progressed or as the level progressed,
Scripted events would happen, right?
scripted events would happen. This one, they brought it back to form where like, there's that meme where it goes like, oh, there's a sniper hiding behind that wall. And then it shows like Call of Duty, like there's a sniper behind that wall. Battlefront is what wall? And they fucking they up the destruction factor. You can roll a tank through a living room, a house
awesome.
and stuff. It's fantastic.
See, I really kind of want to play it. I don't have a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, but I want to play Battlefield 1.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it, and it looks cool, especially the Remember we were in the message where I was bitching about Battlefront and Battlefield and how there's no overarching in the multiplayer. There's no overarching like narrative, and I don't need like a huge story, but I need to feel like I'm trying to accomplish something.
That's where the Battlefront Death Star downloadable content came in, because you had a goal. Like you had 3 levels. One was bring down the Star Destroyer. Then once you bring down the Star Destroyer, you enter the Death Star and try and capture R2-D2. And once you do that, then you go to the trench run. So there's like that. I'm going for a goal here, and it made it so much better. Like that's what I'm like.
Yeah,
amazed at.
Now, what I think they should do is expand that to, like, this is ambitious, but imagine like a month-long campaign on a server where you had a certain amount of players on each side, and maybe it could even be a service you pay like $5 a month for or something like that, to where you're on a faction and it's like what you said, except missions like that a month long. or we'll just say a week long, just to make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that dinging?
Courtney's texting and I'm responding. Yeah.
So like, imagine you're the rebels and the Empire is coming, right? Or you get the Death Star plan. Imagine playing out the whole Yavin 4 thing, or the whole first movie. Like, it'd be really cool to do. You could have it so you have to defend Yavin 4, right? From oncoming fighters and Star Destroyers. Then you take out the Death Star.
Destroyer.
I know, sorry, the Death Star and all that stuff. And then maybe you have to go protect Dantooine or something like that. So there's like
They're all Dantooine.
So there's like a real give and push, and whoever wins strategic battles in that week, strategic levels, wins the game, wins the overall campaign. They had a really cool
Mass Effect 3's multiplayer sort of have something like
I
that.
had to play that for them.
They had like
Battlefront
play
2. Battlefront 2 had Galaxy Conquer mode or Galaxy mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you would pick a faction and you would basically do that. You could invade a planet and have and you had to. All the planets were connected by hyperspace routes, and you would have to try to take over like a significant portion of the galaxy. And say you're playing as the Republic. You start off over here and you work your way over to their like base of operations planet, say it's Mustafar or some shit, and it was really cool because it gave you, now imagine that on a multiplayer scale.
Yeah, well, like I guess I'm pretty sure that on Mass Effect 3 you could play you could log in and play multiplayer whenever, but then they'd be like, the battle for whatever planet is in like 2 days or something like that, and then when you played that, it was sort of like part of the narrative, and there was like a specific like plot. You weren't just fighting on a random world; you're fighting on like a world that was part of the plot, and there's certain benchmarks or something. I don't know. I didn't play it too much, the multiplayer, although it was basic but fun.
I mean, when they did that, it wasn't really part of the plot. They just
they
said it was like
yeah.
It was the same old multiplayer that they've always had. They just had a different menu that said battle for this today. It was like,
well, I think that
so play the game and then hope you win.
I used to be a hardcore first-person shooter player. I played all the Call of Duties. I never really got into Battlefield because I didn't have friends on PlayStation I could play with. But I used to get every single one, and I used to love it. And then I don't want to sound pretentious and say I grew up, because that's not. I got bored. I got bored with it. I felt like no matter what I'm doing, like I'm not working towards something. You know what I mean? Every battle is just like, okay, well now it's done. It's like points. It had more come with like a volleyball match than anything.
Yeah.
And it just got boring. I don't know any other way to put it. So I just want to feel like I'm fighting towards something other than a screen that says Spetsnaz wins. Like
Roy needs more in life.
I need more in my first-person games. That's why I was upset that Battlefront wasn't giving a campaign, because the campaign in Battlefront 2 was great.
Yeah.
It weaved in and out of the canon structure, and you got to see a side that you never really saw. What happened to the clones after the Empire, the rise of the Empire. And you got to see what happened. So, I don't know.
I get it.
Balls.
Roy's slowing down in the hunger.
I am.
The hunger is consuming him.
I just told Courtney to order pizza and bring it back. Like a good woman.
Good girl, Cody.
Oh, man.
What kind of pizza?
1 pepperoni, 1 white.
All right.
This isn't about pizza. This is a podcast about
Men.
shit.
Playing games.
No, pizza is life. Pizza is an intrinsical part of men playing video games.
Did you see that Domino's tweet that was like, imagine a world without pizza? No, stop crying. No, pizza's real. It exists. I'm sorry. We're sorry we did this.
I feel like Chris Hardwick would say that for some reason.
I had a slice of pizza last night at the party.
Man, vegan-
usually there's always.
Vegan, gluten-free, non-bread fucking Indian pizza doesn't count.
I think it was
Corn tortilla.
I think it was Pizza Hut with like chicken, bacon, and pepperoni and barbecue or
All
something.
right.
Shit. You did.
Well, this-
how shitty did you feel after?
I only had one slice, and I had 3 beers.
And then
so
I farted for 3 hours after.
But there's usually tons of food at this place whenever we have these. We go to these parties. But this year they decided not to have food. It's fine. Not shitting on them. That's their prerogative. You don't want to feed anybody. You don't want to feed anybody at a party. That's fine. But everybody showed up thinking there was going to be food. Then they're like, there's like a little bit of cheese. So everybody's like, fuck. So somebody like whipped out their phone, like, we need to get some food. We need to get some pizza.
Kind of like
I like how it's a party of mostly white people, and like the one food they offer is cheese.
I don't know who
it's the
most
most
white people. Everybody was in costume. I couldn't tell.
Cuba.
oh,
Cuba, come on now.
It's in New Bedford. There's
Oh, okay, never mind.
Bedford's very multi-racial.
diverse.
I assumed because the food offered was cheese, and that's like a classic white people thing.
Everybody loves cheese.
I know, but white people love cheese even more. That's our thing.
Crackers love cheese.
Speaking
cheese
of
and crackers go
Halloween
so well.
parties,
I wanted to say something about TV for a second.
there you go. I want to say something about pizza.
Real quick, just because I've been watching it. The new season of Ash vs. the Evil Dead came out.
You sent me that thing.
First season was a little shaky, and they had like a lot of faults with it. But it was like, ooh, like it's back. Like, yay! I bought the DVD. This new season, I think they finally got their balls because they're like, oh, we're actually on a second season. We can do what the fuck we want now. We've made it to a second season. They are going balls to the wall where it's just disturbing but amazing at the same time.
So it's like the first movie.
So it's like
the second
more disturbing.
More
because
disturbing.
What he sent me was Ash going up a corpse's asshole.
and like the
penis
dong is
flopping
right
in the
here.
face.
The dick is in the face?
Yeah, like
I thought this was on TV.
it is.
No,
it's on Stars.
Oh,
But
it's not real. That's not cable TV, right?
But it's fucking gross. And so the episode after that, they did a Christine 2.0. So they basically had Ash's car come to life and kill a group of kids. A dick gets bit off. Fucking
Sounds like there's a lot of dickery in this show.
they didn't show the dick getting bit off, but they just showed like the girl going down on him and then come up as a dead-eye going like with blood coming out. But so the car starts killing people, and it like starts hopping on its two wheels like this and jumps onto a kid, but
a kid or
like a teenager.
Okay.
But like the back tire is just hovering over his face, and he's like, and it stops for a second, and all of a sudden you see this tire go, and they literally show his face just go, and I was like, oh my god, that prepared me for what I saw with Glenn on The Walking Dead. I'm just saying that right now, but Evil Dead it's getting to Evil Dead. It's fantastic.
So did you watch the first season?
Yeah, I bought the first season.
Was it not as good? Because I feel there was a huge buildup. It's like the show is coming. They're making the show, and then you didn't hear anything about it, and all of a sudden it's like season 2 is about to come out. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what happened to season 1?
Yeah, season 1 came out, and
There was like no fanfare for it.
it was okay. Like it wasn't fantastic, and it was almost really campy. Like they went really Army of Darkness with it, but those jokes need to be updated. You can't do the slapstick shit like you used to do in the 90s.
Right.
So it was campy to a degree where it was like it's just making it enjoyable to a degree. Like I'm enjoying myself, but I'm kind of falling off. This second season was like, okay, we'll be campy, but we're also going to be fucking gross.
It sounds like the thing with the car. It reminds me of what is it, Death Proof, with Kurt Russell when he crashes into the car and like the wheel goes in the face and you see the girl's leg just go onto the road.
Yeah, but they're like actually spending money on like rubber maquettes that just like completely just explode and fucking.
So it's not CG.
It's not CG.
It's not like those shows where someone gets shot and clearly the blood is like a digital. Is added in like iMovie after the fact.
like The Walking Dead has in the past.
Yes.
They make it a point it's because they know it's Evil Dead. They order blood by the gallons and they're spraying it on you. Like awesome. They have tons of scenes almost every episode where someone's cutting something off and it's just like all over someone's face.
All right, so we'll get into it real quick. Like, this is a canon continuation of the movies?
Yes.
Okay. So clearly they take place many years later.
Yes.
Okay.
Lucy Lawless is in it and Ash is back.
And what's the storyline like? Because at the end of Evil Dead, he's like, fights the Deadite in the store. He's just been doing that for the past like 20 years.
Basically, so they never really address the end of the movies. Like it just takes place like however many years later. He's old at this point.
Does he still work on an S-Mart?
It wasn't an S-Mart. It was like some other mart.
Shop Smart. Shop S-Mart.
But like only one kid like looks up to him as like El Jefe. Like they call him El Jefe. And
dude, I love Bruce Campbell. No matter what he's in, he's always the same general character.
He's one of those people who doesn't act. He's just himself.
Him, Jeff Goldblum. Like, there's a few. You know what I mean? Like, I loved him. He was my favorite character in Burn Notice. But he's still Ash. He's just Ash that drinks more.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, mojitos.
Yeah. They always go down easy on me.
So in Ash vs. Evil Dead, he's that same character, only a little more crude. So it's not as funny, but it's still like, oh, he said that. That's okay. like I said, the first season's worth a watch, but this second season, good lord, they fucking picked up the growth. Like, it's to the point where I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. This is great.
I want something like that to happen in The Walking Dead. Going back to that, that's the only thing I didn't like about that episode was when Abraham got whacked. It was like they did it slow and then sped it up in post, so it looked like he got hit. I'm like, come on, man, why couldn't
Probably that's what they did.
Yeah, but like the way he fell looked like it happened a little. It looked like stop motion a little bit, like it was jerky.
Oh.
But I'm like, why couldn't they have just done like a mask type thing and just showed him getting hit from like the back? So say right here he's got like a cushion filled with blood on his forehead, and then he just hits him with like a plastic bat, and just you don't have to show it from the side. You could have showed it from the back as like blood spraying everywhere. You know, but the way he fell, it just seemed kind of herky jerky. I said herky jerky.
That's what you're saying about Halloween costumes?
I was going to say, it's the Halloween season that's upon us, and usually store-bought costumes are really shitty. You didn't go anywhere last night, Roy, but I went to a party and you went to a party. I saw your party was full of Sith, apparently.
It was.
Did you? It's a Sith party.
Was there any what were the bad costumes or really good costumes? I saw several in that picture, pretty good costumes. But was there any you just see that and you went, you didn't try? Like I didn't try, and I was Negan, and it came out pretty decent. But you see some people just like, you just bought a shitty thing and that's it. You know what I mean? I hate that when you go to a party and it's like eh.
I don't know. These guys, they didn't
even try.
These guys didn't. The people I went to last night, they didn't get a Halloween party last year because they had to go to a wedding. So they made the Halloween party a week of the Facebook event a week after last Halloween. So this has been a year in the making.
Hardcore.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're definitely having this next year. Like, mark your calendars, shit like that. So for the most part, everyone tried.
I will say that on Facebook I've seen a lot more homemade costumes than anything.
Yeah.
There's I don't want to call it a revolution or like a movement or anything, but I've seen a lot of people making things themselves.
Those fucking Halloween costumes that are just like a one-piece pajama for $60. It's like, go fuck yourself.
I saw one person who.
Well, like I said, the Batman one would have been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you can do it and be ironic. Like if you're 300 pounds and you want to wear a Spider-Man costume with
not
sneakers.
300 pounds.
I'm not you. You look like you don't even weigh 130 pounds. No, she made her husband a whole Beetlejuice suit. You know, like the whole striped suit, and she made her two kids like homemade sewed up sandworm costumes. It was really cool. It was really, really cool. So
this is the host of the party that I was at. One of the hosts. He was the loading mech thing from Aliens.
That's cool.
This is a bad picture. You can't see the full costume. But
was there a Queen Alien he went with?
No,
Just went around calling everyone bitch.
His girlfriend was dressed like Lilu. Get
away from those chips, you bitch!
Yeah, but his costume, it's like all cardboard boxes. He had one of those yellow warning lights. I'm assuming he got from a construction dumpster barrel thing, and he has a little body in there. So, and I don't know where he kept it, but he has a straw right here that is connected to something full of alcohol. So he just because he couldn't use his hands, he kept sipping through the straw.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they go all out. They start decorating their apartment for the Halloween party in July. Yeah, so it's that type of thing every year.
See, I don't do that for Halloween. I do that for King Richard's Fair. I do that for the Renaissance Fair. I put all my effort into that. I'm not huge into Halloween.
What I did notice on Facebook this past weekend was everyone has their fucking wedding on the Halloween weekend. Stop doing that shit. I have not
seen that.
At least 3 people on my Facebook feed had to go to a wedding or had a wedding that same night, Saturday night. It's like, That's when the Halloween party is. You're a fucking asshole. And if I can't come to your like wedding, what do you call it, dinner thing afterwards as a character or as like a Halloween costume, then you're a fucking dick. Like, so stop having your fucking your wedding on Halloween. That's people's Christmases. Okay, it's my Christmas.
I can get it. If you really like Halloween and you want your wedding to be on Halloween, that's one thing. But if you're not into Halloween and you have your wedding like the Halloween week, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. Well, like all of a sudden 2 months ago, we got invited to Courtney's cousin's wedding. And I'm like, well, that sucks. Like, we have a party to go to.
Yeah, I can't. Halloween in it. So, I don't know. It's like, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so that was I saw some good costumes. There's I would say one of the crappy costumes that I saw was still a good costume, because it was a dude dressed like Ted the bear, but he's like Aaron's height, so he's like over 6 feet tall and super skinny. So it looks like someone took Ted and just stretched him out.
Was he able to do the voice?
I didn't hear him talk. I have no idea who it was. This is one of those parties when you go, you only know like the handful of people that like but there's 30 fucking people in there.
Was it the benefit party?
No, that's next weekend.
Oh, okay.
That's the last one. You're going? Going, motherfucker? You going?
I don't know, man. I don't fucking do Halloween parties.
I don't do social things.
I do plenty of social things. I'm here.
11
This
o'clock
isn't a
rolls.
social gathering.
What am I going to wear? I could wear my King Richard's Fair costume, but I can't do it unless I'm bringing all the weapons, and I'm not going to bring all my weapons because that would be a little ridiculous.
You're obsessed with weapons.
Of course I'm obsessed
Swords
with
up
weapons.
the ass.
I'm a man.
Yeah, 11 o'clock rolled around. They were like, so when do you want to go? I was like, I'm ready to go. They're like, why? I'm like, I don't like people.
Wait, you last night?
Yeah, both of us were like, oh, I don't like people either. It was a touching moment between us two that we got up around 11:30.
I can go and I'd see you and Keela and who else?
Everybody.
That I don't know.
Everybody.
That I don't
who
give a
goes
shit
to Sacco.
about. Oh, that's cool. But
I like them.
yeah, they're cool people. But still, it's like,
Yeah, whatever.
King Richard's Fair is my Halloween.
What's our time? Where's this episode status at?
An hour.
At an hour? You want to keep going?
Well, did you have any other topics to talk about?
Dude, this is us, man. This is us. We can always talk about shit. We are bullshit masters. The art of bullshitting is one that we have taken, refined, forged, smelted back down, and shaped again.
We've got it honed like a samurai
Yeah,
sword.
but do people actually want to listen to that?
I don't know. They didn't want to listen to episode 7 because it only got 6 downloads.
Was that the one where it was just you and me?
Yeah, that's the one.
Man. That was a fun one, though.
Oh, it was. I attribute that because we didn't post for a week, so I think that might have thrown everything off.
I was gonna say that was a good episode.
Again, since we're on Halloween, we'll close it with one of the things that always felt like Halloween. Obviously, is Halloween shows. More so when you were a kid. For me,
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, this past weekend I had my daughter watch Hocus Pocus and Ernest Scared Stupid, so got down 2 good fundamentals of Halloween.
Was never an Ernest fan, but I loved Hocus Pocus, and I can say it's the only I've posted this almost every year.
The only time that Sarah Jessica Parker was hot.
Yep, it's the only thing, dude. I used to fucking fantasize that part when she's like, "It's raining," and she opens her mouth. I'm like, I was like 10 years old watching that. I was like, someday, bitch.
Your remotes.
Someday.
I don't know.
All
Hocus Pocus is
sticky.
such like, it's so cliche. Even Courtney and Coda are like, oh, let's watch Hocus Pocus. And I was like, nah.
Hey, Courtney, trying to sneak around over there.
I was like,
She was, dude. I thought I heard the cat move.
I know. I heard on the floor.
all month we've been like watching movies. At nighttime during dinner, like, oh, let's watch Hocus Pocus. I was like, nah, it's Halloween. Let's watch The Thing. And they're like, so they watched half of The Thing. Like, this is awful. I was like, fuck you. Like, relationship over. And then we watched Casper.
What? No.
Nah, see that's a decent Halloween one. It doesn't have to be, in my opinion, it doesn't have to be like a horror movie to be a Halloween movie. It just needs to take place like the night before Halloween or on Halloween and be cliche as fuck and be from like 20 years ago.
So the most recent one was like, oh, let's watch a movie. And I was like, well, it's still Halloween month. Let's watch The Mist. So I put on The Mist. And she's like, this is boring. I'm like, it's not boring. It's a people story. You need to get invested in these people.
The last 2 minutes make it all worth it.
Yeah, and then she's like, we got to the ending, and I was like, oh, you're going to hate me for this ending. She's like, why? The kid dies, doesn't he? Doesn't he? I'm like, I'm not telling you.
And then all the bang, 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 click, 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 fuck.
And then, he's like, and she's like, it would just really suck if something came along and it was like, someone to rescue them. I was like, wouldn't it?
You're sitting there, you're biting your knuckle.
So it happened, and she's like, and both of them are the same. Why did you make us watch this?
Women hate that movie. Men love it. Men love it. I think it's a weird, deep, subconscious thing where women are like, "Oh my god, that's awful," and men were like, "New beginnings." It's like, what? I get to start over.
It is like a divide down the sex lines with movies that have endings like that, because
Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. That's
Girls
one of those
that
women hate the ending, men like the ending because it's. I don't know. Like
we watch Jeepers Creepers too.
I like a good happy ending, but I mean, a twist that's a very unhappy ending like that. It adds to a good story. It's like, wow, that's good.
That's why I like
that's
those.
Balls. That's good storytelling.
Well, because the good guy
there.
always wins. So when the bad guy wins, you're like,
fuck.
Or even in The Mist, the bad guy didn't win. It was not a bad guy won or a good guy won. The good guy just lost.
Yeah, and like he was such a good guy too.
And the way I look at The Mist now is a continuation or like some kind of alternate Stranger Things. Like instead of just opening that little portal to the other side, they opened up the whole thing.
Yeah, it just ripped wide open.
That's the other monsters that are in the Stranger Things world. But so that's how I sold it to them. I was like, it's like Stranger Things, only if it took over.
Oh, how did they not slap you?
It really is though when you say it, because they did open that portal and that shit came out in The Mist.
Exactly.
The Upside Down came here.
Yeah,
it's such a good movie.
Like they were so distraught. Like, no, we need to watch a cartoon.
That movie's good because people die like needlessly. Mm-hmm. Like was it the girl or the boy? I think it was a boy, a guy who was like they were like a little couple or something like that. I'm like, you don't want to die, and then somebody gets stung by like a giant mosquito thing, and they just fucking die. You're like, holy shit, that doesn't ever happen. Uh-huh. So when people die like that, it's just great.
Also, so the episode, the show that we had to watch to get the taste out of our minds, our brains for that movie.
Ash vs. the Evil Dead.
It was Girl Meets World, and it was the first episode that Eric appears on it. And you remember in Boy Meets World when they did like that flash into the future? Eric had like a super long fucking beard, and he was like a man from the mountains. Yeah. He was actually that person in this episode, and it was fantastic.
That's awesome. I hate that show.
He was like the mayor of...
I couldn't stand Girl Meets
Stupidville or some shit.
The first season has a lot of shitty episodes, but the ones where like Sean comes in and like the actual other characters...
Yeah, I might go back and skip ahead to like...
go online and see what episodes you need to watch, because the Sean episodes are actually like really good and like really touching back to the old, Boy Meets World. But this Eric one, he becomes like the mayor of...
it's like Stupideville or something.
Saint Upid's town.
Yeah.
Remember the Boy Meets World Halloween episode where they're like stuck in the school and somebody was killing them?
Oh my god, you killed Kenny!
And it was like a rip-on Scream, right? Because like the guy who plays Eric was dating what's her
Jennifer
face?
Love. Wow, what do they call
Jennifer
it?
Love, like Feffet, something like that.
Scream, that's a movie I haven't seen in a while.
I didn't like Scream.
Scream was great. Scream 1.
Scream, yeah, it was good for the time when it was like the perfect slasher movie.
Yeah, everything was meta.
I don't know. It was too 90s horror movie.
Which was perfect for the 90s.
Say it was like I Know What You Did Last Summer. I didn't like that one.
That's a ripoff.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess Nightmare on Elm Street and
see, those were all like 80s.
I know. So I liked those. The first 3 or 4 of each of those franchises, like Hellraiser and stuff like that. Then the 90s came about, and now the murderers are a dude in a Halloween mask. It's just I wasn't a fan of them.
Yeah. I think Like, what would you say your perfect Halloween movie list would be then? Like, mine would definitely include Cabin in the Woods because has the Cabin in the Woods horror, but also that meta humor where it makes fun of it.
Isn't it the one where people get like Ebola? No, I'm thinking Cabin Fever.
Yeah, that's one with Sean from Boy Meets World. That's how he met his
Oh,
grisly
that's
demise.
that's the one I was thinking of too.
Cabin in the Woods.
The girl like shaves her legs, like all the skin fucking comes off.
That's
Cabin in the
gross.
Woods is the Joss Whedon one.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one. I know.
I haven't seen it either.
He's made a
Good
face.
Lord.
Is it on Netflix? Might have been on Netflix.
Probably. I don't know if it is during Halloween because they want you to go out and buy it
Doesn't
because they're
somebody-
fucking
yeah.
assholes.
Doesn't somebody get like stabbed in the throat with a unicorn horn or some shit?
I'm not going to spoil it.
I'm just like,
All right, so my perfect Halloween watching list. Oh man, like I said, it's not horror movies for me really. Mostly, it's Ernest Scared Stupid is and Hocus Pocus. All right, so this is what I've watched in the last week. Those two I watched with my daughter, and those two are staples of Halloween for me. I watched Sleepy Hollow, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. That's on my list of Halloween movies. Interview with a Vampire. It's not really Halloweeny, but it still can kind of have that thing. I watched the Addams Family movie, the first one.
Yep.
The other Friday night. So I think that right there. I'm trying to think. What else do I need to watch to make it feel like Halloween? Those are my kind of it's Halloween now. I know some people have The Nightmare Before Christmas on their list, and obviously it can go either way. But for me, for some weird reason, that's more of a Christmas movie than it is a Halloween movie.
Did you see that that honest trailer for Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
I'll have to show you that. It's so funny because what's that song where it's like boys and girls of ever they added a new song to it. It's like, would you like to shop somewhere strange? And it's like, come to Hot Topic, come to Hot Topic. So good.
Roy, what's your list?
definitely Hocus Pocus. And then honestly, I don't really have a list. I mean,
What would you watch that would make you feel like it's Halloween? Gives you those Halloween feels.
See, this doesn't give me Halloween feels, but I remember it when I was younger. I can't even remember the name of it. Had to do with the mansion and these people staying there.
House on Haunted Hill?
No, it was like a TV series. It was like a 4-part series. It was something Red Rose.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Stephen King.
Had to do with the mansion, and there was a part where the rug. Yeah, I was trying to find it, but I couldn't.
You got the shinin.
Oh, Willie. Do you remember there was a part where the guy was running down the hall, and the house is, I don't know if it's demonic or haunted or what.
Rose Red.
Rose Red.
Oh,
You remember Rose Red?
No, not at all.
You don't remember it at all?
Nope.
It wasn't. It was one of those things where it was cool, but not great. I don't know. It's really weird. It was like a 4 or 5 part series.
Mm-hmm.
There's also another one that I can't remember. Was that the one that had the mansion? Do you guys remember the horror movie with the man? It might even be the same thing, where the angels changed direction, where they were looking, not fucking Doctor Who, but the statues. There was the girl. I want to say it was the same one from The Mist. Remember the crazy religious woman.
Oh yeah, I don't know what movie you're talking about though.
But
I know
she would
the
walk.
actress.
Yeah, there was something to do with children. Their children had died. She was walking down a hall and she looked at the the cherubs on the wall, the statues, and then she looked away and then she looked back and there was a scream and she looked back and they were facing the opposite way. No, we can't look. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
No.
Fuck! I gotta find what the hell that was.
Another one, Frighteners. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. That was like Peter Jackson before he got too epic.
Yep.
Oddly enough, though, that doesn't give me the Halloween feels. I think it's because the first time I watched it was on pay-per-view during the blizzard of '93. Mm-hmm. So when I think of it, I think of snow. All right, so here's the king of old school Halloween feels: The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors.
Okay, there you go. Yep, I'm with you.
But
only to a certain point.
yeah, the first 10, because all the ones after that, and I'm lumping them all in. All the ones after that sucked. Those first 10 were so fucking good. Those are the ones where you would like give up going trick or treating to stay home and watch the Simpsons Halloween specials because they were so good. You know, and the Flanders was the zombie, and well, they're all the zombie. The whole town was a zombie because they did all the horror movies. Yeah, those were great. Now they just do like movie parodies, and they're not even horror movie parodies.
It's weird to see Homer pull out a cell phone.
Right? Isn't it? It's weird.
I don't like it. Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. Trying to think.
I just watched The Conjuring 2 also. That was good.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's creepy as fuck.
I saw The Conjuring 1, which was a great movie.
Yeah.
Right up until she actually got possessed and they showed her like floating and shit. But when it was just the ghosts and like you saw it when, what was it? She's got the candle and she's trying to be quiet and you just hear the hands come out of the darkness over her shoulder and clap and it turns the fucking lights off or
That's
whatever.
terrifying. That director like is
But as
amazing.
soon as they actually show her being demonic, it jumped the shock for me. Because that's the ending of too many fucking movies. I hate that. I can't stand Exorcist. Not because it's scary, but because it's lame.
Yeah, it's been done.
It's like, dude, I would walk over to this broad and just smack her.
That was kind of cool about
Not that I hate women, but like if something like you, if you all of a sudden became possessed, I would just hold you down and he would kick the shit out of you.
Thanks.
You know?
That was kind of cool about Conjuring 2 is like they did like a based on actual events kind of thing, and it was the Amityville horror house from England.
Okay.
So, you know, these events were actually recorded like on the news and that type of stuff, like where stuff moving around, and they put a story behind it and like a really good plot as well. So it just like really freaked you the fuck out. It was pretty awesome.
Nice. My daughter, she's 9. She loves that show, Ghost Adventures.
Is that
it's fucking
that's
awful.
someone with like the
Hi.
douchey guys that go like
I'm Zach Baggins, or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm Zach Fuckface, and I hunt ghosts. So yeah, he looks at, you said it at a Hot Topic, he looks like he's jacked.
Yeah.
But he wears like he's got frosted tips. He's basically like a fit version of Guy Fieri, but instead of doing cooking shows, he's ghosts.
right. See,
It's like,
I
you're
never watched that
douchey.
one because I used to watch the Ghost Hunters show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, for some reason I liked the Ghost Hunters but could never get into Ghost Adventurers.
Ghost Adventures sucks.
Because the few times I saw them, they were really douchey.
They are. They're just really, really shitty.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're gonna come. You wanted us. We're here. Like, that's exactly what it is. And he like does this spin around. And there's like a crowd of like 40 people in this one town, and they're all like, yeah. He's dressed all in black. He's got like he's got a chain wallet right there. If you walk into a room and you say, "I hunt ghosts," and
Well, Hot Topic, like
and
you
you've
said.
got a chain wallet, I'm gonna disregard everything you say from that point on.
Yeah, I liked the Ghost Hunters until they got too popular and made themselves it took themselves too seriously. Like the first few seasons of that, when they were like literally working out of something triumphant just happened.
No, we've got to wait an hour for pizza.
Oh, I thought that looked like a triumphant
No.
same person I just killed a guy.
No,
thing.
that was more of like a damn you fools! You've ruined it all.
Oh, you're gonna have to have a beer then.
I'm gonna have to kill one of these cats.
No, there's plenty of them. You're not gonna.
know,
you
you're
can
not
eat
gonna
one
miss-
and never miss it.
Won't miss the new one.
three of them now.
Aaron will high five me.
I wouldn't eat the one on LSD.
I might trip.
Yeah, you're gonna jump out these windows thinking that you're like a fucking butterfly or something.
This will all of a sudden become the House of 1,000 Corpses.
Ooh, 13 Ghosts. That was another decent one.
That's a good movie.
And it was a cool plot too. Like
You can only see him with the glasses.
with the glasses, but like the house was constructed to like with the charms that kept them contained and stuff like that. And then they killed Shaggy.
Blood, zoink, Scoob.
I don't know. I like to go old school. Like I don't like blood and gore. I like mind fuckery. So like The Grudge and shit, like those movies.
Grudge is an old school.
There was only
The
one.
Japanese Grudge, not the fucking remake with.
There was
Sarah
only
Michelle
one
Gellar.
out of either of them. There was only one part that I actually liked, and it was the part where the girl with the black hair and shit was in the bed with her, and then she got pulled. Like she lifted the covers, and she was like, and the face was just there, and she was just like, and she got pulled into the bed. Some
like Freddy Krueger type shit.
It was like into the upside down. I don't know. She just got pulled into the bed and was like, holy shit, where the fuck did she go? It doesn't make sense. But I liked that. You know, there's another one too where there was a girl another Japanese one, where a girl got drowned in like a water tower. That one was pretty cool.
Dark Water or something?
I think so. And like the ending was cool, but the rest of the movie sucked. That's the thing about Japanese movies is they're very slow and boring up until usually the end, or they have like one or two little parts that are cool.
So the Grudge had, like the original Grudge, that fucked me up for a while. Every corner, like, because they have just like people in a corner and you don't see it. It's not like pointed out.
Have you seen The Fourth Kind?
Yes.
No, I heard that's good, right?
That was a movie.
It's on Netflix.
That was a movie you should watch, but it's spoiled somewhat by the fact that you know now. Like, they tell you, it's one of the first movies that I've seen that they say, everything you're seeing is real. We're going to show you the real footage and then our footage side by side. Whenever there's actual footage that is, you know, in art, they call it archived footage. That's how they got around it. They said, whenever we have archived footage, then we show you what we made. They even had the lead actress come out before the beginning credits to say, the Resident Evil lady.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say Mila Kunis, but that's not it. I know it's
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Jovovich.
She comes out and she
It's not Jovovich?
No.
She actually says, this happened, this is real, we made our version of it, and we're going to show you both. And that's what was so fucking freaky about it. They used, you know, and then afterwards,
I can't look at owls the same way again.
dude, it's a fucked up cool movie. And me and the person I went to go see it came out, and I was genuinely fucked up after seeing that movie. And then she was like, I gotta know if it's real. I gotta know if it's real. I gotta know. And then she looked online and saw that it was even the archived footage was filmed footage that they filmed with different actors. It wasn't real.
Well,
So I was like,
it's like the Blair Witch, the first one. Because they had like a documentary.
I want to see the
leading
new.
up to
I
it
want to
and
see
stuff.
the new one though. I want to see the. It's called.
It's back to found footage. This new one, right? Because
Yeah.
the second one,
The second one was good. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
it wasn't bad. It was like
The
meh.
twist at the
It was
end.
meh.
The twist. Well, it's meh until I got to the end where you see like everybody thinks that this one girl's the witch, so they all kill her. Like number one, they were the main characters were the ones who went off into the woods and killed all these hikers, and you don't figure that out until the end, and then they get arrested, and they say, oh well, the girl, one of your friend, you killed her, and they say, no, we didn't. She was the witch. She was the witch the whole time. She was the one who was haunting us and making us do these things. And then they show them the video. So you see the events of like where she shoves off, like they actually kill her. You know what I mean? And it's different than what you see earlier in the movie. So I don't know. It was just really, really cool. It's hard to. But and then the cool thing about that movie, sorry, going back to that, is that they had the little featurette where they said, this movie, the filming of this movie was haunted. Certain things happened that we can't explain.
For the second one?
Yeah. So like when they threw the dead bird through the window, they zoom in on it and they say, oh, is this the face of the Blair Witch? And like it made like a screaming face in the glass, like the way it broke. And then they say when the actress walks around these dancing around the bed, she passes the dresser and the knobs are normal. But when she passes it again, the knobs are in a pentagram. Oh, is this movie haunted? But when I was like 14, I saw that movie. No, probably 13. It was around this time. My parents had left to go whitewater rafting in Maine. They left me no money for food. And
Peace out, boy!
No food in the house and no money to go buy food. No means to go get food. I was locked in this house.
This is your test.
And all I had to eat was a box of pudding pops.
When we come back, he'll be dead or a man.
So I'm up watching this movie on DVD at about 3 o'clock on the movie on a sugar high of nothing but pudding pops. Okay? And the way the wind was blowing and the tree was smacking my roof, so I'm like got the blanket huddled around me and I'm sugar high with my eyes looking like your LSD cat. And every time the branch would hit, I'm like, what was that? Watching this fucking movie, and it was the fantastic horror experience. I was like,
Because your parents aren't coming home.
no, right there. That's probably my horror movie Halloween experience memory. That fucking thing. It was such a fun time because I had no idea. I was like, shit, I might die right now. I was on the cusp of starvation.
You know, thinking of like all like the old movies like that take place during Halloween. It always you always watch those movies like in E.T. when they're going trick or treating, and Hocus Pocus when they're going trick or treating, and Ernest Scared Stupid when they're going trick or treating. It always looks so much fun. It's like the whole town is out. There's hundreds of kids. Everyone's trick or treating. Every house is decorated. It is never like that in reality.
That's not true. It's not. I went trick or treating.
I have to give you this face right now because where are you trick or treating that looked like movie trick or treating?
Okay, so there's a neighborhood a couple miles away, white neighborhood, but all the Spanish kids go to that neighborhood because it's house.
That's cheating because Spanish people have like 12 kids, so they have their
12
own
kids times however many are over there are all over the streets. Like it's literally a nice neighborhood where everyone goes from house to house to house.
Are you saying that the Spanish people don't live in the nice neighborhoods?
They don't. They don't. They literally drive there, park somewhere on the street, and then go trick or treating in that neighborhood. Legit.
Stop blowing the cat.
Cat's got a fupa. Look at that. What the hell? The hell's hanging? The hell's hanging from your cat?
The fucking fupa is what it is.
It's like a marsupial pouch.
No, we found out that
It's even got a double chin. Look at the white part. It's hanging.
We found out that
Why is your cat so fat? He just looked at me as soon as I said that.
We had one of those bowls that like has the reservoir of dry food.
And she ate it, and now it's stuck in her gut.
Because my cat is 20 years old. She would just walk up to it, eat.
Cats live that long?
Yeah, my cat's 20.
I thought they lived to like 10, 15.
Normally they do. I got a fucking freak cat.
The original death cat, the one. Do you remember the one at my house? The yellow one.
No.
It would be laying in the sun on the deck, and we wouldn't know if it was dead, so we would yell at it, and it wouldn't move, and we'd be like, "Oh, is it dead? Is it dead? Is it dead?" And then I'd like stomp on the deck, and usually the vibration would make it like move a little bit, like. So like, it's not dead yet. Yeah.
So. Because she's old and wise for her years, she would go up, eat
she's
the dry food.
She's not wise for her years. That cat is just a cunt.
She ate the food that she wanted and then would walk away. She didn't have to worry about it. But then we found out, like, Jesus, we just went through a month's worth of food in a fucking week, and I've never heard a cat fart, but the fucking cat is snoring, and it smells fucking awful. And that's when she grew a fupa, because she downed a whole bunch of food, and we didn't catch on until she was already super fat, like, 2 weeks later.
So is it on a diet now?
I mean,
you're just gonna let it drag its gut around?
It really is. It's like you gotta staple that thing.
Well, now, like we feed them both at the same time. And the cat doesn't have a big appetite, so she'll eat like half of it, walk away, and if we don't get there in time to put the food up, she eats it. So she eats double half the time. It's like. Stop it!
So
now there's a third cat, so it's fucking...
So this thing's not gonna live 20 years because it's gonna die from gluttony.
Dude, here we go, right? That cat, death cat, doesn't make much of a meal. But if you don't feed the fat one, it might eat the new one.
Ooh.
You might... Dude, she gets skinny because she won't eat it for a while. Mm-hmm. She'll probably wait like 3 weeks before she's like, oh, fuck you. And then you're killing 2 birds with one fucking cat.
Gonna be a big blob of stuff.
It really is. It just has a big fat marsupial kangaroo pouch.
It's a big.
Don't massage its fupa.
Yeah.
Ooh, get your hands out of that.
That drags in its shit box and everything.
No, but it's really funny to watch it run away because it just waggles.
Dude, that is so gross.
No. Oh, I think we should end it on the fupa. This has been episode 9. Thank you for joining us. The website has been revamped. What'd you think? You never gave me feedback on that.
No pun for vampires and Halloween?
Did I see it since
pun.
you revamped it?
No pun. You said revamped. I was expecting something fancy from Halloween.
Oh, no.
Vamped, get it?
Yeah, no, I'm not that clever. It went over my head.
Modern.
Anyways, the
retropodcast.com.
Thanks for saying that very slowly. the
It didn't pop out. Is it the Modern Retro?
It's not. There's no the. It's modernretrocast.com.
Oh, cast
is the website. And it's been revamped. It's looking nice and new and fancy. There is, as I promised last episode, an archive of all the episodes thus far. So on the main page, there's the current episode, and then when you click on the episodes page,
Dude, I love the pictures.
there will be a bio that's had linked to each one of those pictures. As soon as the wordsmith to my left, Roy, writes a bio for all of us.
Yeah.
We are on iTunes and Stitcher, so you can subscribe on either one of those listening services. And we're on Facebook and we're on Twitter at Modern Retrocast. So find us there. Check out our website, modernretrocast.com.
Like it.
Share. Tell your friends.
Or don't.
Yeah, like Roy doesn't.
Ask
and
us
Aaron
questions,
doesn't.
give us feedback.
Yep, you can email us at modernretrocast@gmail. I'm getting confused with all my thingies. It's modernretrocast@gmail.com. And yeah, it's growing. I'm getting feedback from people that are saying that they love what we're doing.
Nice.
So I encourage you to interact.
You need to send those to us so we can also just bathe in the glory that is fandom.
So again, thanks for listening. This has been the show, the Halloween episode. Blah.
Episode 9.
Episode
Ramin
9.
Mr.
The
Grinch.
fistful of Negans. I don't know.
Ass full of Negans.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye.